This episode of Super Boothers is brought to you by PB Backdrops. Get anything you need for your photo booth business, like featherless boas, custom pillow cover backdrops, retractable banners, and much more. Visit their website at pbbackdrops.com and use promo code SuperBoothers10 at checkout for 10% off. Hello and welcome to Super Boothers. My name is Ryan.
And I'm Ismail.
I just got back from a fabulous vacation.
What else is new?
You know what?
Do you work?
I don't. I always like to say that I'm fun employed.
Fun employed. That's funny.
Yes. So, I really, whenever we record, and I'm actually recording in my office, which I have not recorded in my office in well over 4 weeks. I need to put like one of those little red lights outside of my doors whenever I'm recording.
Oh, like Uncle Jesse from Full House.
Absolutely. So vacation was amazing. And I will say this, I don't ever really say I'm going on vacation and completely cut off from the world. Like I really don't do that. Like I've been on 2 cruises and like random trips, but I've still always kept on working on my phone. This trip, I really didn't do much of that.
I will say I did notice that you were a little bit more detached on this vacation. Which you need to do that every once in a while.
I read an article about how social media is affecting our memories. I used to remember everyone's phone number by heart. I still remember my childhood phone number by heart.
When someone asks me for my own number now, I have to think twice before I say it. So I could barely remember my own number now.
There are times where I'll be on the phone with a customer and I'll have to spout out the business line. I just do it so quickly I don't even realize if it's the right number. There are times where it's just so robotic that I just splurt it out and is that the right number? I don't remember.
Yeah, definitely a lot less things to remember now with all the technology, for sure. What about before the GPS apps, man? How did people get around? How did people get around?
I had a Garmin when it first came out, and it was $400. And you would type in the address on your little Garmin and shove it in your car, and then it would tell you where to go.
Whenever I go somewhere that requires 25 left turns, I just wonder, how did people communicate this back in the day? There's too many turns. There's too many directions. But now it's all automatic.
It's crazy how automatic it is.
Yeah. So where'd you go on your vacation?
I went to Disney World.
Of course. I tried not to respond to all your photos rubbing it in because I love Disney and I'm very, very jealous.
First of all, I got a chance to meet yet another one of my billionaire friends, Mickey Mouse. And this is a really sad thing. So there's a place in Magic Kingdom where you can meet Mickey Mouse and he talks and he interacts with you. And I remember when this came out and Disney put out a patent. So the way how it works is there's a person inside this Mickey costume and the head is $150,000 head, where the person on the inside, I guess, speaks a couple of commands or words or something. And then a synthesizer goes out in Mickey Mouse's voice interacting with whoever he's talking to. The crazy thing is, I asked Mickey, I said, can we take a selfie? And he goes, you betcha. But there's a little 3-second delay in between responses. So it's super cool. Unfortunately, as of May 12th, they're discontinuing it. So he is going silent forever.
What? Why?
So because I'm a nerd, I researched why that was. Apparently, it was for a couple of reasons. A, it's expensive. They have 4 rooms and 4 Mickeys going concurrently. That way they can just go through the line and get something crazy 250 people per hour. Second, it was confusing guests. So, for example, if your daughter meets Mickey and she goes to, say, Animal Kingdom and has lunch with Mickey, that Mickey doesn't talk. So then she's like, well, how come Mickey's not talking here? And that's another thing, is why aren't the other, characters talking? So that was a little depressing, I guess, that they're shutting it down. And they also said that customer satisfaction ratings, it doesn't matter if Mickey's talking or not. You're still meeting Mickey. So people came across with the same feeling, hey, I just met Mickey, whether or not he's talking or not. I, however, had an emotional experience whenever I met talking Mickey. And like I was like, holy crap, I'm gonna cry. Mickey's talking to me. Holy shit, this is like better than Oprah.
Now, but that's a great takeaway, though, that they realized through data and statistics that having him talk didn't really impact customer satisfaction. So
No.
sometimes it's not worth doing more because you're already getting the result by doing less.
Sure. I thought it was super cool. I mean, I'm sad that they're taking away Talking Mickey because that is the only place in the world where you can meet Talking Mickey.
Well, they're probably just taking it away temporarily. I'm sure if they figure out some other more economical way of doing it, they'll definitely do it.
I'm sure that if there are enough like pissed off people that they'll like bring him back, which Disney is known for. Like they are known for fixing big, gigantic mistakes.
So one of the things I really love about going somewhere like Disney is that when you go to experience something with such a great company like that, I always walk away with takeaways, like things that I found interesting that, I can apply to my business or just things that I think are cool. Is there any things like that you saw that stood out to you from a customer service or branding or marketing standpoint?
Going to Disney has like changed my life and changed my business. Like there are things that I found out on this trip. I'm constantly looking at ways to like improve the business. So, for example, this is a little bit more of a technology thing, but I realized a couple of things on this trip. First of all, I went for 3 full days, and we did, in case anyone's knowing the details, we did the park hopper, meaning you can go to any of the parks. You can go to all 4 parks if you want to in one day. You just scan your little magic band and you're on your way. The way how this one worked was so you could schedule fast passes up to 30 days prior to your entrance date or 60 days prior if you're staying on property. I was not staying on property, so I was only able to schedule it 30 days out. First of all, Disney is great at creating buzz and creating a demand for something. Like I think it goes with that, under promise, over deliver sort of mentality that we talked about in these last couple episodes. I was able to get reservations to the Beauty and the Beast restaurant, which was just unheard of. Whenever I checked, they were sold out. And that's the thing is they tell you need to go ahead and check these things, check the app. Everything in Disney is done on the app, and you just need to check a couple days before just in case anyone cancels. So someone canceled. I snatched it. It was the most amazing thing ever. One of the biggest things that I've learned is the customer service standpoint of it. We went to go get a disability pass, which is something you can do at Disney that I did not know. The person that I was traveling with has difficulties standing in blinds, and I walked 12.1 miles in one day in Disney, and there are people that physically cannot do that. So if you cannot do that, you can get a disability pass. We did that. Disney employees were beyond accommodating, and it was just so shocking to me. I went and I scheduled a ride. We went to go over to, I believe it was Dinosaur, scanned the thing, and it said, "Oh, you're too early. You're an hour early." And I just realized that I made the mistake. And we walked away. We must have walked easily 2 blocks over. This person from that ride comes chasing us down. And she goes, "Did you just try to get on Dinosaur?" I said, "Yes, we did. I made a mistake. I scheduled the wrong thing." And she goes, "Well, let me scan your magic band just to make sure that you know where you need to be. And if there's anything we can do to help, just let me check for you and make sure that you are taken care of and you're okay." I mean, it was just so shocking to me.
Now, you don't get that kind of customer service elsewhere, especially if you're handicapped?
I don't believe so. No, not like that. It was so crazily insane. I mean, the amount of customer service that Disney employees have, I absolutely believe it's different than the California one. Everyone in Florida is like, "Are you okay? Is there anything that we can do?" Even if it's not their job, they will go out of their way to make sure that you're happy. I also read a thing on the way how the Magic Kingdom works. So if you have been to Disney, you know that you go through the turnstiles. You can take your picture in front of the little flower Mickey landscape that they have, and then as well as the train station,
Yep,
the
yep.
entrance to Magic Kingdom. You walk under the tunnel. The way how Disney explains it is that they always call their employees cast members, and whenever they refer to the park as on stage, that's why whenever you see like areas that are off limits, it's considered backstage. Disney is great at visual transitions. So, for example, you walk under the tunnels, and that is the transition from the real world into the Magic Kingdom. It's just so crazy how far they go with these things. One thing that I absolutely learned that we can take away as far as photo booths are concerned is the way how they start and stop a line. So the way how they start a line at rope drop is there's a big Mickey welcome show staged spectacular la la la, there's fireworks. He says let the magic begin, and then they drop the rope. There is 5 cast members at each of the ends of the rope going to a particular ride. To prevent a stampede from people trying to get in line, no one is allowed in front of these people. And if you want to ride a particular ride, you have to follow that person to get in line. The way how they end a ride is they don't just say, oh, I'm so sorry, we're stopping here. They give a person like a little, just like a little sign that says like, I'm the last person or whatever, as like a visual cue of, hey, this is like where we're stopping it.
So how would you apply that to photo booths? Is that the line of people at the booth?
Yeah. Like if you're shutting down the line, like let's say you're done at like 9 p.m., 8:50, you see that there's a long line that's clearly going to take 10 minutes. And you can do the math. You can tell, each session will take anywhere between, 90 and 120 seconds. Count the number of people in line, how many groups there are. You can easily end the line by having someone hold a thing that says, I'm the last photo, rather than cutting the line and saying, I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore.
This is a tough question, right? So balancing what you said earlier about how they go bend over backwards for customer service, right? If you're in that position, what would Disney do, right? You're in that position. There's a line of people. It'll only take a few minutes longer to get all their photos. Can you?
They let them on the ride.
Yeah, they let them on a ride, right? You wouldn't really just be mean and cut the line, right?
No.
So how does that?
No, they don't.
How does that complement each other? Where you want to use the ability to stop the line there, but you also don't want to have a bad experience for anybody that comes in after.
Sure. You also don't want to. So this is another thing I think that you kind of have to take into account is the amount of money someone paid. I mean, if you're getting paid $1,500 for a 3-hour booth, I'm pretty sure you're going to let someone take a photo, one extra time. The same thing goes with Disney. I'm not paying $200 a head just to get turned away.
Right. So how effective is it really to have that tactic of cutting the line off, really? Because you're going to have to, for the benefit of their experience.
Well, but that's the thing is it's pretty effective because once they realize the line's slowing down, there's a person that has a sign that says, I'm so sorry, I'm the last photo, whatever. Even if someone is, from across the room, they see, oh, you know what, they're stopping. I mean, it just deters people that won't come up to you and beg you and say,
I was just going to say probably the best part of that is just deterring more people from coming up and not taking care of people that are already in the line.
Sure. And that's the thing with Disney. If it closes at 10, you have to be in the line at 10 and they will still let you on the ride. You can't go in at 10:05 saying, I want to ride. You have to be in the line at 10. So I think that absolutely can be applied to, our business. Another thing is I was really debating. So the way how this works in Disney is you can pay for a photo pass. It is $199 if you buy it on the spot, and I believe $169 if you do it 3 days prior, taking your first photo. And what that is, you can have any Disney photographer take your photo, as many photos as you want. I'm sorry, my eyes closed. Can you take another one? Or can we do something stupid or whatever? They scan your Magic Band, and then the photo goes magically from their camera into your phone. They also include something called Magic Photos, which is the simplest thing ever. All they're doing is taking little overlays and placing it in your photo. It is the coolest thing ever.
Like Disney themed overlays?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like for example, there's a photo of they say, you know what, put your hands up, and in post they put like 5 Disney balloons, like the Mickey Mouse balloons.
Oh yes, I saw some of these. Or they can put characters in it as well.
Yeah, they can put Tinkerbell, they can put Minnie Mouse, all of this stuff. It is just the coolest thing. And as a photography professional, I know how this is done. And I still think it's so cool. I don't know why I think this. Like
That
I was like a little kid in this place.
that is directly applicable to us. So how did that actually work? Do you tell them what to put and where to put it, or it's a photographer guiding you to make a pose and they put whatever
Both.
character they want?
Both. The photographer has you pose in a certain way. Disney has brand standards on what characters can be included at what locations. So, for example, you probably can't get Minnie Mouse in Frontierland. I mean, they just try and keep the theme all together. I just thought it was the coolest thing. Another thing that was really cool that I've only seen at Disney is A, the magic bands, but B, so you know how, like, let's say you go to a theme park, you go on a ride, there's a big drop, it takes your photo. At the end of the ride, you go, exit through the gift shop, and you see like a whole bunch of screens, and you see your photo. And then
Right.
you have the option to buy the photo.
Or snap a picture with your cell phone, which is what people do.
Sure. Or if you have like in Disneyland in California, you have like a code, you type in the code on your phone and then it shows up on your phone in the app. Disney has gotten rid of all that. There are 2 chips inside the Magic Band, one of which is a long range RFID chip. The ride essentially reads your Magic Band and sends the photo to you. You exit the ride just like normal. No, there's no kiosk. You don't even see the preview photo. Nothing. It just magically shows up on your phone.
Now, these bands, I've actually never been there since they implemented these bands, but I've read a lot about them in business, you know, publications. They make a huge deal about these bands and the impact of it on the customer service. Why do you think it's such a huge breakthrough?
It is, first of all, it's flippin' magical. Whenever we went to the Beauty and the Beast restaurant, she goes, "Can you scan your band?" Yes. She goes, "What would you like to order?" Place the order. And she goes, "Sit anywhere you like." I'm like, "Well, how do we get the food?" She goes, "They'll bring it to you." Next. And goes, I'm like, "Okay, whatever. I have my little receipt." Go down. We sit down. I realize what they do. There is a person that whenever they bring out your food, they have like a little like tablet that says where you are in the restaurant because of the Magic Band that you're wearing. And that's how they track where you are.
And that's just one way, right? There's also, they know your name, right? I've heard that too. They know who you are if it's a special day. If you go to a
Yeah,
photographer, they
absolutely.
know
Well,
that.
that's a button that you're wearing, but
No, the band as well now. They know if they don't need the button. I've read.
I don't know about that.
Maybe
Well, this is another thing. So on some of the rides, can use that long range RFID chip. There is like we're exiting right and it says goodbye, Ryan.
wow.
No, it says your name on the screen. Like this is so insane.
You know what I think is that the real magic of Disney is that they create all these moments. Like people are successful if they can get one special moment out of you on a trip or on a vacation or at a restaurant. Disney's different because they have that all over the place. They create moments everywhere. And
It sets an impossible standard.
yeah, but there's a lot to learn from it. And actually, we didn't talk about this before the show, but I may have to revive the book club because there's a book that I came across recently that I was, starting to read called "The Power of Moments," and it really ties into everything you're talking about with Disney's experience, where that's the magic, right? They create these moments for people that are there, and I'm trying to read this from the perspective of trying to understand how I can do that for my clients. And there's other good examples where, for example, they talk about a mortgage company or a bank, right? So you go through buying a home, huge moment in your life, buying a home, 30 years of paying the mortgage on time, every month, every payment, being studious enough to make that payment on time for 30 years. And then when you finally get to the end, they just kind of send you a letter in the mail saying, "Hey, you paid off your home. Thank you."
Yeah.
And if you want to transfer the deed, there's a deed transfer fee. Pay the fee, and then we'll transfer the deed to your name. they squander an opportunity to turn that into a beautiful moment in someone's life. And the example that they use is, compare that to you pay your 30 years, someone comes to your home with a bouquet of flowers, they knock on your door. Thank you so much. Congratulations on all the hard work. You've earned this. The house is now yours. You create a moment for that customer that they will remember forever.
Well, who's going to do that? They're just on to the next.
That's the problem. Disney does that.
Sure. I will say this. One thing about Disney is that, again, with the Magic Bands, they have removed the financial aspect of it. There is not a lot of, I didn't see any cash in Disney World. I mean, everyone was just scanning their Magic Bands or scanning their watches and using Apple Pay. I really think that removing the financial part of it, there was also something to that as well.
That's also probably good for business as well. People don't realize how much they're spending.
For sure. I saw a whole bunch of signs and t-shirts that said best day ever. I saw one dad walking around that said most expensive day ever. Oh, it was hysterical.
He was paying in cash, probably.
For sure he's paying in cash. I'm not kidding. That's not cheap. But this is the thing is, you pay a lot of money. This is something that can be used with us as well. You're paying a lot of money. And you really don't expect everything that comes with that experience, that vacation, all that. The same thing can be applied to our customers. You know what? They may bitch about the price. They may bitch about whatever. But if you can deliver, and I mean deliver, I don't mean, yeah, you did a good job. I don't mean that. I don't. Yeah, the client's okay, happy. I mean that you went in there, knocked it out of the park. Whatever problems they had, you fixed it without being a big deal about it. That's what I think is the real thing that justifies spending that extra money that they didn't have to spend.
The other thing, too, is that, it's very expensive to go to Disney. It's very expensive for families to go. But nobody cares. Nobody complains after the vacation. Oh, my God, spent a lot of money in Magic Kingdom. They talk about how amazing it was and how they can't wait to go back, right? So the price isn't always as big a deterrent as you think, as long as you can deliver. And that's the other thing I like about the book I mentioned is we have the opportunity to create moments too. We're part of people's lives for a huge, moments of their life, whether it's a wedding or a sweet 16. These are huge, moments in people's lives. We can use that to our advantage to create a powerful moment that'll give good customer service and have it be unforgettable. And that's how people refer us to their customers. Like that is what will help.
One more thing that they did is I went on Hollywood Tower of Terror, and the coolest thing is you think, you exit the ride, you see like the little photo, you scan your Magic Band, you get the photo. No big deal. Holy balls. About 20 minutes later, I look on my phone. There's a video. It's a branded video where they take two parts of the ride and input video from your ride into that like main video. So you get this fully branded video on your ride experience. Not only do you get the photo, you get to see yourself moving in slow-mo. Who does that?
It's funny because we talked about a lot of this stuff on previous shows with they're using a lot of stuff that we have in our industry, right? So making the short video clip a shareable content piece, making the animated overlays, like these are things that we can use as well. We don't have to be a multi-billion-dollar corporation like Disney to utilize this stuff. So I think that it's great that you're picking these things up while you're there. But the bigger takeaway is that you can actually put that and implement it with your own clients.
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you are in Houston, June 13th, I am speaking at the Houston ILEA chapter. Come see me. Tickets are available at ileahouston.com. Thanks so much for listening, guys. We'll see you next week.